Hello everyone. Hi Jeff.
Hi Janet.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about our short-lived store which we had at Woodland Hills Mall.
Woodland, whoa.
Yes, Woodland Hills Mall. One day I got a call from probably the director of the mall, Woodland Hills Mall, and we were at that time in our second store, which I know we talked about in our last Wacky Wednesday. And that person said to me, you know, we have a space here in Woodland and we don't have any store in Woodland that's like your store or carries things that you carry. We would love it if you would consider coming to Woodland Hills for the holiday period of October through early January. So Jeff, if you remember, we talked about this. It was a great idea in many respects. However, we had already placed all of our holiday orders and we were trying to determine how we would get merchandise for this store.
See, they're calling us back right now.
They're calling all the time. Yes, they are.
They want us back.
However, we did agree to do it. And the store, you'll recognize, for those of you who are familiar with Woodland Hills, is on the corner of the food court, which I believe now still may be a sunglass store. It was only about 600 square feet.
I think they've actually remodeled the whole.
Oh, okay.
I think they wiped that whole thing out.
They wiped it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at the time, a sunglass company was going to move in there in January, so it was available until that time. And because it was small and because we couldn't bring a lot of merchandise there, we had everything peggable. Everything was on the slat wall, so that and some tables that we could display for the holiday season. Now, in terms of what I remember from the beginning of this, and Jeff, you're going to fill in some other stories.
I'm ready.
My sister became the manager of that store in Woodland Hills, and of course we had to have the same hours that the other stores in the mall had. We weren't exactly used to that. We had to have new employees, and when we closed our store in the farm, you and I had to go over there in the evenings to take over management of the store until the mall closed.
Yeah, it closed like 11 or something.
Well, the closer we got to Christmas,
right,
the longer and longer the store stayed open in the evenings. Right outside the store was a bench. You know, they still have them at Woodland Hills, where people could sit and rest, basically. And one of the funny things about that was that my dad at the time just loved to watch people. Loved to sit wherever he was and just watch people. And of course he had comments about them. He knew everybody even if he didn't know them. So he would come over to the mall while we were there and he would sit on the bench and just, you know, watch everybody as they went by. Now, one thing more I wanted to say before I turn this over to you is that we started at that little store in October. Lo and behold, it became very clear that in the mall, nobody was really shopping for the holidays in October. People really didn't come to shop for the holidays until the weekend of Thanksgiving, which people call Black Friday. So most of the time what we saw was a lot of high school students coming from Union and other high schools, walking around having a good time in the mall. Very few people carrying packages showing that they had actually bought something. And at the end, when we left the mall, and there's a longer story to that, we realized that we had really started there a little bit too early. That is the beginnings of our store at Woodland. And now, Jeff, pass me the tape, the
Sure.
phone, whatever it is. Here we go. Okay, what
camera.
things do you remember?
Well, I remember that, also, and your dad coming in all the time and showing people. One of the things I also remember is that, this was a corner section So they had these gates, gate, I guess, that would come across and close off your store.
Oh yeah, they were the metal gates.
Yeah, yeah. At night, and there was a track in the floor, and sometimes when we were working there, as Janet and I did about every night for about a month and a half, they'd have people come up. Maybe a couple would come up, and if the man was kind of being discouraging about the women shopping, as they are apt to, Janet would point to that little track in the floor and say, "Would you mind standing over on the other side of essentially out of the store and letting the women shop?" And
Yeah.
you know what? They did it.
Yes, it's true. I did, and actually, I told them that there was a nice bench
Yes.
they could sit on while their wife or their girlfriend or their friend was shopping in our store. That's true, Jeff. I did do that.
Yes, and so that was kind of nice. We just went there every night. I think at least a month and a half. I mean,
Yeah, before the real shopping began.
yeah, and kind of took over things. You know, we had plush animals, and we had some packaged candies and different things, and we thought one of the things that it actually did help us with is we gathered people's names, and they got to know we had a store in the farm.
Right, people from out of town, particularly who came in
yeah.
to shop at Woodland Hills. We did get a lot of interest from those people, that's for sure.
Yeah, indeed. And so it wasn't that terrible. I
No,
guess.
it was a learning experience, and we learned we will never shop. we will never set up another shop in Woodland.
And we have not been back to the mall since.
However, Jeff, there is more to
Yes.
this story, because we did stay in Woodland after
Yes.
January, and now you're going to talk about what we did during that period of time.
Yeah, I thought you were going to bring that up.
Yeah, I thought I would.
I thought, hey, we had business. We had some business.
Yes, we did, and we had fun.
And so I thought, well, I looked at the prices of their kiosks, and I thought, well, we could just open one of the little kiosks, little wagon things, and not have a lot of product. Well, we did that, and they put us down there. They're going to give us a great spot right down in the middle of the mall, next to the water fountain.
The big fountain, which is no longer there in Woodland, but yes.
No, and that sucker was loud. You could barely hear
Yes.
people as they were talking. Now, a couple of different things. One is that the only time you could hear that was when the fountain was off.
Yes.
Now, a lot of times why the fountain was off, because someone put oh, that guy's calling again.
He's calling me again, yes.
Yeah. One of the things that the reason why they would have to close the fountain is if someone put detergent or something inside the water and it bubbled up and they had to stop it, clean it. And I was kind of, okay, I wasn't the one who put the soap in there, but I wasn't sorry to see it shut off for a couple of days. So.
Yes, we enjoyed the quiet, yes.
Right. So, but some of the people was going around that maybe I was the one who put the suds in it.
Shocking, Jeff. They blamed you occasionally for putting the suds in the fountain.
Yeah, it's true, but I didn't.
Okay, now,
Yes.
I know you were totally innocent, and I truly, truly believe it. But describe what shoppers are like in malls when they come up toward a kiosk.
Absolute blinders. You are invisible.
Yes.
Because I think because of the nature of the beast, in that a lot of kiosk people are like carnival barkers. They're going off to you, trying to grab you and suck you in and pull you in. And have you tried this? Try this. Try this. And we just didn't think it was right. But because of that, everyone had absolute blinders. There were people that were friends of mine who walked right by. I mean, within 4 feet.
Even your friends.
Even my
ignored
friends
you.
just go, nope. And our daughter Sabrina worked there, hated every minute of it.
Yes, she did.
Because we made her go in, I think, Saturday mornings or something.
No, I think she worked, maybe Saturday.
Yeah.
Or Sunday, because the mall's open 7 days a week.
Yeah. And then the other thing is if you didn't open at the opening time that the mall opened, for whatever reason, maybe an employee was late or maybe an employee couldn't make it, they would fine you.
You mean we had to pay a penalty for that?
Yes.
I have forgotten about that.
No, it's true. So that was kind of, I mean, sometimes I could talk them out of it, and, but yeah, they wanted to, you to pay a penalty. I don't know if it's like that now. And I don't even know if they have the single kiosk anymore. I mean, I think they're like 3s and 4s kind of meshing together. And a lot of jewelry, because you can put a lot of product in there.
Which we couldn't because ours was much bigger. Well, we ended up leaving our kiosk around April. I think it was after Easter that year. And went back to our wonderful store in the Farm Shopping Center in between Mazio's and Margaret's German restaurant.
Yes.
And we were very, very happy there for all the years that we were in the Farm Shopping Center.
I like the farm. It was good.
Yes.
It was fun.
So this is our story about how we traveled down to Woodland Hills Mall for a period of time and learned that what we had to offer at Sweet Tooth Candy and Gifts was really not what they needed at Woodland Hills. However, it was very nice.
And one last thing, pro tip here, when
Yes.
you're shipping, make sure all the other addresses on your box are crossed off. Because we got one box we shipped from our store in the farm, and apparently it was a box we had received something. So they just looked at that address and took it out to the farm. So
oh my gosh.
I know, it's kind of crazy, but it's true. Who knows how it got through all the electronics, but it happens.
So we learned to
So,
cross over
always.
all the names or just turn the box inside out and start all
works.
over again.
That worked, yeah. So
And you have forgiven me for the time that I actually ended up throwing a box out that still had merchandise in it. And who was it that found that?
Oh yeah, it was either someone from Margaret's or it was from the guy across the parking lot who had the game shop.
He came and said,
Yeah, they came and says, maybe you want this stuff. It was brand new merchandise. Yes.
yeah, I don't think I ever threw anything away again.
No, then we were very protective of checking every box twice and making sure we had everything.
Okay, so Jeff,
Yeah.
our next Wacky Wednesday, I think we've agreed we're going to do some talking about marketing and commercials and advertising, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So,
and one last thing on our e-letter, we'll have pictures, even on Facebook, because there'll be a link to our newsletter. We'll have pictures of some things from the farm. I mean, from the woodland.
from Woodland.
What it
Well,
looked
and
like.
also we put in.
Oh yeah, we have some from the farm.
We also do. We put the
Do.
Muppy pictures in, and we have some others, I think, as well. So, friends, stay tuned. 30 years of Sweet Tooth Candy and Gifts. We're counting them down for you and really for ourselves. It's helpful to remember what we did all these years. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.